The angel of death. It's me. Sometimes I feel that I'm trapped in a cage, no way out, trapped in a daze. I was 9 when I held my first gun. I was 12 when I witnessed my first murder. But the murder I'm talking about wasn't the death of a loved one, but the death of my innocence. See, I was the only man of the house when my father was taken. To be locked behind cells was something that he didn't have a choice but to do. He shot a man in plain sight, but in exchange for something valuable, protection for his family. I remember the night so clearly. He said, "Son, I'll be home in an hour." We have just been playing takedowns with each other. He left in a rush, but I don't want him to leave, so I followed. He was walking 10 steps in front of me, rushing around. I followed closely like I was a sniper, watching his every move. But he wasn't walking like a dad. He had a oomph to his step, like someone pushed out his chest for pride, like someone put a spring in his step. He walked like a bad man. But who would have known that me following him was a foreshadowing me walking in his footsteps later on to come? He stopped on a corner. A car pulled over. These times I'm behind him, waiting to sneak up, jump on his back to yell, "Surprise!" But he doesn't have a clue. I thought of it as a game of cat and mouse, but then I saw him reach for his pocket, hand weighed down by this heavy metal. Pow. The power he had in his hand. He didn't know the power of what it possessed. He didn't know that this one mistake would take his life from me. I like to think you took that man's life for us, for me. But then again, in reality, I know he did it for himself, to have dominance, to have power. My heart shook with fear, my body trembled. I remember cowering behind a bush, hoping he doesn't see me, praying that God forgives you. I was 12 when I lost my innocence. From then, I knew life wasn't going to be the same. See, I was the only man of the house. Dear Diary, it's 19th of July, a day I would never forget. One thing I didn't tell you was that the mystery man that my father shot was his brother, my uncle, Mark. My dad wasn't the man I thought him to be, a superhero, but instead he was the villain. My uncle Mark was the man everyone talked about, the man that went on to finish high school, college. He was the man. You're never ready for the highs or the lows. Think about it. When it rains, it pours. But I'm speaking from the heart before it froze. You got to go through thorns to find that perfect rose. Every single person needs a purpose in life. Pick a path to stick with, then to personalize. All this patience, wasting time, had to say goodbye to loved ones from the age of 12. Need an angel by my side, because I've been carrying some demons. Some nights I've been struggling so hard, I don't know how to defeat them. I loved and I've lost. But I've come to realization that healing has no time frame, that I may cry and smile. Feelings our body ejects, when it's feeling some type of way, wanting to displace it all, just far away. So, I may cry, then smile, mask it all, turning myself into the most undefeatable superhero. Simply because my basket is too full. Too full with grief, guilt, happiness, anxiety. I try so hard to be someone I'm not, so they won't see inside of me, through the thin mask someone I'm trying to be. It's quite all right to miss the person you've loved every day, even if it has to be 2 years or just that one day. Sometimes there'll be no definite end. Sometimes their presence will still find a way to infiltrate your head. You still turn your head even when you know they're not there. You find that you still turn your head when their spirits fills the air, tickling your nose. But one day you'll breathe in again and their scent will permeate your brain, holding your mind with the memories of you and them, but you won't turn your head. One day your love for them will just be that of a memory you'll never forget. It'll be okay, son. Go and take a deep breath. This generational curse no longer has you in its power. He's in a better place now. Grow, rise, and be that perfectly imperfect flower.